But that baby is saying something about it's not secure about its foundation. When it comes out into the third dimensional realm, it's very afraid to come out in the third dimensional realm. So it will protest by twisting itself and contorting itself because it feels a very unstable, very irrational, and even may feel a violent energy coming from the mother or the father or whoever is going to be in that baby's experience when it has to come out in the third dimensional realm because of what it's being programmed with while it was in the mother's womb. Everything it heard, everything it felt, everything the mother said, everything the mother didn't say, the baby was programming this into cell memory and said, hell no, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm really afraid for my safety, and I'm not sure that the mother and everybody in the environment is going to protect me. I feel more secure staying in this warm, wet, incubating place inside of this sack. At least I know I'm by myself. I'm wrapped up in here. Nobody's going to bother me, even though I'm a little bit petrified in here. I'd rather stay in here than out there. So a lot of times babies are forced out. So the doctor or midwife, someone will put their hand up there and grab the baby and twist it and turn it upside down and force the baby down. Or if the baby still won't come out that way, then you have to get a C-section because the mother and the baby will die if that baby is not delivered. And if it stays up, especially if the mother's water already broken, if you just a mother laying there wide open and she's been in labor over 24 hours, they're going to have to cut you and take that baby because you're going to get infected, the baby's going to get infected, and sure death is going to come if that woman keeps laying there wide open with a baby stuck up inside of her. So when the baby is forced down and then it comes into more trauma because it's bright lights, it's a cold room full of strangers slapping the baby, taking syringes, sticking it in the mouth, sticking it in the nose, sticking it in the ears, checking the penis, checking the vagina, fingerprinting it, footprinting it, all these people they don't know injecting it with stuff. So it's even that's another layer of fear that we've been brought into, and then on top of that, we're feminine. So many times when the doctor or the mothers or the father will see that the baby is a girl, there's another level of trauma and drama because many times families don't want girls or the men don't want girls because he starts to think about gloom and doom. Oh, she's going to get pregnant. Oh, somebody's going to trick her. Oh, somebody's going to screw her like I screwed over so many other men's daughters and sisters. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? And the mother's disappointed because she's thinking about the drama she's going to have to deal with the daughter because she doesn't know how to raise a daughter or she might have drama with her own mother. And that's why I was saying it's so important to go back into the mother's history or go back into her story because she got a his story and she got a her story. She got the HIS story because she has a father and maybe brothers and maybe uncles and maybe stepfathers and preachers and teachers and counselors that she had drama with. And then she's got a HER story because she got a mama and a grandmama and sisters and aunts and females that she had to deal with and didn't deal with when things didn't go well. So she's holding that, and she's dreading the fact she just gave birth to something that looks like her that she doesn't know how to relate to because she doesn't like herself. And she really was not engaged properly by women. She wasn't groomed properly by women. And then she does not know how to love and respect and groom herself. So that is another layer of drama that the baby is feeling that it does not understand or that it overstands. Let me take that back. Because from the very thought of our conception, our subconscious is turned on and it never goes off. So our subconscious overstands very, very clearly what is going on, but because we are babies and the level of our brain which deals with speech pattern and development, we can't articulate it with our voice box and our mouth. We can't form the words. So people think babies are deaf and dumb and blind and don't know they're here. They know they're here. Many times they're more aware of you than you are of yourself and than you are of them because we're not taught to be psychically in tune with babies. And I have seen mothers be psychically in tune with their babies, so psychically in tune that I saw a white woman, because I saw white women do this. And because we weren't exposed to it, I didn't know that we could do this. And that's what we need to start doing. She had a baby in a swimming pool that was about 3 months old. And she picked that baby, she ducked the baby down in the water, pulled the baby back up out of the water, and she held the baby close to her face, and she started blowing in the baby's face. And as she started blowing in that baby, says I was a teenager, so I didn't quite understand what she was doing until later, until I saw it and I asked her and she told me. And I was really trying to grasp what she was doing, so I was just quiet and I wasn't even moving. I was just mesmerized, just fascinated by this. And as I watched, she's blowing the baby's face, and I guess she was teaching the baby how to hold his breath, because after she blew a few times, she dunked the baby, and when she dunked the baby started swimming like a little turtle. It just started, it was going, we were like in the 3 feet, 4 feet. She had this baby just zooming all over the swimming pool, and then the baby would turn and come back to her. That was some fascinating shit to me, that at 3 months old, 6-month-old babies, 9-month-old babies could not talk, but their mothers were programming them at a young age to listen to Bach and Beethoven in her womb and Vivaldi, and then as soon as they come out, they listen to it, and she's programming them how to swim and teaching them French while they 3 and 4 months old. So that was a positive program and a positive bonding. She was psychically in tune with that baby. But most of the time, women of color, we are psychically in tune with our babies, but we are psychically in tune with them from a fucked up perspective and a perspective of pain and negativity. We program them with the self-hatred and dysfunction that our mothers and fathers and uncles and granddaddies and stepdaddies programmed us, or them not being there and making us feel worthless and abandoned, instead of us dealing with the root of that and realizing that we are sacred and we are divine. We will hold that and start to let that self-hatred brew and start getting in self-defeating, self-destructive relationships with ourselves and sexual relationships with men, and then we will transfer that same garbage to our daughters and have them repeat it, and then to let them repeat it and say, oh, well, get over it. It happened to you. It happened to me. You need to be tough. You need to have a stiff upper lip and keep moving. And that creates a continuous cycle of victims, because now the daughter is going to self-destruct. She's going to destroy herself, and then she's going to do it to other women around her, and she's going to do it to her little girls and even her sons if she has some. So that's why I broke down, actually, you going into your mother's womb to her rivers of living water, because she has many stories to tell if you will understand and understand her spiritual anatomy, because you are an exact mirror of the way she is designed. And it's so important that you find out. If you can't talk to her, if she won't tell you the truth, you need to talk to her mother, you need to talk to her grandmother, you need to talk to her great-grandmother, her cousins, her nieces, her nephews, anybody that will give you a history of the type of relationship that the mother had or didn't have with her mother and her father, and who raised her, who didn't raise her, what type of abuse that went on when she was a little girl, what was she like as a teenager, what was she like as an adolescent, and before she gave birth to you, what were her husbands, what were her boyfriends like? Did this woman have any abuse? Did she have any neglect? Did she have any abandonment issue? Did she have any rape and molestation issues? Because many times we think we know our mothers and we don't know them because they refuse to show themselves to us. And as a result of the natural feeling that a child has for their parents, and because we are so tiny, many times we look up to our mothers and they become this goddess that is so magnificent, can never sin, that is immortal, can never die, can never do anything wrong, especially if we consider our mothers beautiful and everybody admires her and adorns her with gifts, and men just fall all over her and women just want to be her, and everything goes her way because of the way she looks and the way she carries herself and the way she moves. We see other people idolizing our mothers, so many times we begin to idolize them, and we are just so proud that she is our mother and she gave birth to us, and we just want to be a part of her experience, and so we put her on a pedestal. When we put our mother on a pedestal and when we really don't know who she is and who she isn't and we don't know her pain, we start to want to emulate her. And it's the most painful thing that can happen to a daughter is to have a mother that is so beautiful and considered so brilliant and that everybody falls all over her, and then she looks at her own daughter that came out of her womb and says, you know what, you are so dumb and stupid, and you can never do anything right, and you'll never be as good as me, and you'll never be as smart as me, and I'm not going to teach you to do anything because you're a loser. I already see you're a loser as a little girl, and you're going to grow up to be a loser, and to walk away from the little girl, not want to engage her, not want to play with her. Every time the mother has the opportunity to engage you, she's going to leave you with your grandmother. She's going to leave you at a friend's house. She's going to leave you at a nursery. She's going to leave you wherever she can leave you because you are an inconvenience, You are something. You are a thing. She doesn't look at you as a magnificent, beautiful, divine extension of herself to be valued, to be nurtured, to be protected,